Ladies and gents, my name is Dr. Tia Cummins. I'm a clinical neuroscientist, ex-soldier, and the very proud founder of VR CORP. Now, at VR CORP, we have one mission. That is to empower and save lives through the prevention, detection, and intervention of service-related post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, we're doing this by developing an end-to-end integrated mental health service that will utilize virtual reality to help those most at risk of and living with PTSD. And this includes people like David. Ladies and gents, David was just 21 when he found himself in a tank during one of the most brutal firefights of the Vietnam War. David and his crew were pinned down by enemy fire when his tank was hit by a rocket-propelled grenade. Now, the ensuing blast sent waves of shrapnel piercing through David's body and face, leaving him unconscious. David's physical wounds did eventually heal. However, mentally, he's remained badly scarred and would later be diagnosed with PTSD. David's now in his 70s. It's 50 years since his trauma, yet he still wakes up in the middle of the night from nightmares that cause him to relive that blast over and over again. David's PTSD has caused him to suffer from bouts of depression, anxiety, flashbacks, and anger issues. And this doesn't just affect David, this affects his family as well. And David's not alone in this. You see, 1 in 5 veterans and first responders are diagnosed with PTSD, which means that in Australia, David is just one of over 165,000 uniformed personnel currently suffering with the disorder, the large majority of whom will never recover because we don't have any effective treatments for service-related PTSD. So at VR CORP, we're developing a suite of tools using virtual reality that can be used separately or in combination with each other. In a bid to prevent PTSD in the first place, we're developing a screening assessment that can be used during the recruitment process. Now, this assessment will identify individuals who are most at risk of PTSD so they can be deployed appropriately within the organization. Our detection tool is a post-trauma assessment, which enables us to detect the very earliest symptoms of PTSD before the individual themselves actually knows that there's an issue. So this allows us to intervene nice and early. Our treatment is based upon current psychological therapies, such as exposure therapy, but we're able to elevate these treatments using virtual reality. So for example, we can recreate the memory of a traumatic event in a virtual, safe environment. And because this treatment is tailored to each end user, it gives us a much better chance of controlling and reducing the symptoms of PTSD. So VR CORP is working with a whole range of organizations. We're supported by TRAM, and we're working very closely with UNSW, CSIRO, Soldierly, and University of Canberra. Now, VR CORP is a very young organization. We've been at this for less than 6 months now, but we have a very important mission ahead of us. Our next step is to get the funding to develop these tools and get them into clinical trials. If you would like to work with us, if you think you can help, by all means, get in touch. I founded this company because as an ex-soldier and researcher within this area, I've seen firsthand the devastation caused by PTSD. We at VR CORP are passionate about what we do because we believe that no Australian veteran or first responder should have to suffer as a consequence of their bravery. Thank you.